Hello class, these are our Algebra 1 notes for section 1.5. Today we're just looking at interquartile range. So the interquartile range is the measure of the spread of the middle 50% of the data in a set. So let's go ahead and do this. Measure of the spread of the middle 50% of data in a set. So the shorthand way of talking about interquartile range is IQR. So we're going to call it IQR for short. And the way we find it, if we think about the middle 50% of a data, so I'm going to look at a box plot really quick. So we know a box plot looks something like this. So on a box plot, our median divides it in half, and then the quartiles divide it in half again. So on a box plot, this is 25% of my data, this is 25%, this is 25%, and this is my last 25%. So if I want the middle 25%, I want this part right here in the box. And the way I get that, think about how the box is created by Q1 and Q3. So the way I get that middle 50% is by taking Q3 and subtracting Q1. So IQR equals Q3 minus Q1. So interquartile makes me think quartile 1, quartile 3. Range makes me think subtract, like we're trying to find the range of values. So in our first example, we've got a dot plot. The dot plot shows how long Elena's bus rides to school took in minutes over 12 days. So sometimes it helps to write down all the data. We do want to do a 5-number summary. Some people are able to look at the dot plot and do that. Other people need to write it out. So we're going to go ahead and write it out. So we have 2 6s. We have a 7. We have 3 8s. We have 3 9s. We have 2 10s. And then we have a 12. And if we're doing the 5-number summary, first we're finding our minimum. And our minimum is 6. Let's write down Q1, median, Q3, max. And I always do minimum and then maximum. So minimum is 6, maximum is 12. To find my median, I've got to figure out which one's in the middle. And if there's 12, it's an even number. There should be like 2 in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 2 are in the middle. So that means in order to find my median, I'm going to be taking an average. So 8 plus 9 divided by 2, or just think about what's in the middle, that's going to be 8.5. So because I didn't actually use my median, it wasn't actually a number on the list, I guess is what I'm saying. When I am trying to find my first quartile, I'm looking at all of these numbers. I'm not throwing out the 8. Normally I would throw out the median, but the median is an 8.5. It's not on the list. So I'll find the middle of these for a quartile 1. Middle of these guys for a quartile 3. So middle here would be between the 7 and the 8. That's my Q1, so that'll be a 7.5. Again, you could just take 7 and 8 and add them together, divide by 2. And then let's see, for quartile 3, I have 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be middle 2 again because it's even. 9 plus 10 divided by 2. Or I could just say, hey, it's 9.5. It's the middle of them. All right, so we had to find a 5-number summary. Perfect. Use the information from A to find the interquartile range. So IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1. So Q3 is 9.5 minus Q1 is 7.5. So 2. So that means most of my data only ranges by 2 minutes. So most of the time, it's really a pretty close set of data, right? Like it takes about the same time all the time, only off by a couple minutes for her to get to school. We're looking at another dot plot. Number 1, it says 1 letter is worth 1 point. The dot plot shows the scores for 20 common words. What is a median score? So we're going to start out by making a list again. It looks like I have 4 4s. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 5s. I have 4 6s. 3 7s. 3 8s and 3 9s. Oh, and a 22. I almost did not see that. What is the median score? So if there's 20 words, the median score is going to be another average. So we need to find the 10th and the 11th would be the ones in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it looks like between these two. And you could just do a quick check. There should be the same number below the ones I circled and above the ones I circled. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 on both sides, so it must be the middle. So the middle of 6 and 7 is 6.5. That's my median. To find quartile 1 though, because my median is not on that list for quartile 1. I'm looking at all of these numbers 6 on down. I'm trying to find the middle of those. So I believe we should have 10 circled now. So same thing, it's going to be the middle 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be the 5th and 6th number. So on that one, Q1 though, when I average 5 together, I just get 5. So for Q3, I'm looking at the 7 on up. And again, because there's 10 values, it's going to be the 5th and 6th value. We're just averaging them together. And the middle of 8 and 8 is just 8. What is my interquartile range? Well, that's going to be 8 minus 5, which is 3. One more interesting thing that we could do here is we could compare the median and the mean. So let's go ahead and look at that. Let's go ahead and find the mean. So for the mean, I'd want to add up all those numbers. So I'd have to do 4 plus 4. Actually, there's 4 fourths, so I could just multiply it by 4. But I'm going to add everything up. And I'm going to divide by how many there are, and there's 20. It's just interesting to compare the two. Plus, next line down, plus 8, plus 8, plus 8. This is really not looking good because I'm running out of space. So we're adding them all together, right? And then after we add them all together, we're going to take that whole thing and we're going to divide by how many there are, which is 20. So let's see, when I add them all together, I get, let's see, I'm grabbing my calculator here. Let's see, 4 times 4 plus 2 times 5 plus 4 times 6, 3 times 7, all right, I got 144 when I added them all together. And then I want to take that and divide by 20. And I get 7.2. So what I think is interesting to kind of just bring up about this one is my mean is 7.2. That's larger than my median. And that's because I'm using this data value and averaging that in. So that's why we say that this one is skewed. This data value, the one on the right, is skewing it and making the median larger, or making the mean larger than what it should be. So that's why when we have something that's skewed, we want to use the median as a better descriptor. We'll look at this more on the notes the next day. I just think it's one more interesting thing to add here is to use our vocab, say skewed to the right, and kind of talk about why. So hopefully you understood interquartile range. I still think the 5-number summaries are kind of tricky. We'll look at more data sets for that so you get to practice. And as always, if you need help, please make sure you ask.